Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be exploring Target and the Halloween offerings that they have this year. But first I want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. It is greatly appreciated. If anyone else out there wants to join our Fright Club, you can check out the link to my Patreon page in the description below. With that said, let's go ahead and head on in. I must say I really love that archway inflatable with the details on the top. That looked really good. I was very, very tempted to buy that, but it is a little bit cutesy for my decor. That tall inflatable we just saw is a little bit scarier, but I think for the most part, the things that we're going to find here at the Target are awfully cute. I mean, look at this little hot air balloon with the pumpkin man. I actually saw that in the store last year. I think it might have been in the walkthrough video, I'm not sure, but I really loved that as well. I thought it was super cute, but that's just the problem, is most of the things in Target are super cute, and every year they seem to be getting even cuter. So there's very little in here that I would actually buy, although I did walk out with a few things that I'll show you as we take a look through the store. Also, I did just want to point out, you know, in that first archway inflatable we just saw, the animatronic, I really actually kind of liked the look of it, the way it was strumming its guitar, but again, it looked a little too cutesy. It had nice movement though, and I'm a little disappointed they don't have more animatronics for us to look at in the store here. I'm kind of wondering if there are still some things that they're putting out. Some of the shelves were a little bare, but it did look like they had the majority of the merchandise out. Lots of lighting effects here, a little wall decor that glows and shines some light. A lot of these little neon things too. I don't think I've seen that witch's cauldron. I actually think that's a good idea. These little lighting effects, I think, miss the mark. I mean, there's the cat with some blinking eyes that don't line up. I don't know why it would do that. The blinking pumpkins there, I mean, is just kind of way too in your face and irritating. And who really needs some seesawing skeletons? The problem too with these is that you really have to put the device really close to the wall. I mean, the farther back you get, the huger it gets. I mean, it amplifies it many times. So I really find they look cool in theory, but in reality, not only do they not work too well, but they're really hard to see in any sort of lighting. That eyeball effect was neat. I know we saw that in some of the hanging decor last year, but to me, it looks very digital. Obviously, I think that might be intentional, but I don't like that look when most of the other stores have really more realistic looking eyeball effects. I don't see why we can't do that now. Of course, we have our string lights with sounds.
Flying through the air, the jack-o'-lantern's grin will stare.
It's Halloween time once again. Say hello to my little friends.
That certainly proves that some are better than others. I do at least like the variety of all of the lighting effects and things that they have here. I will give them that. Those little ghost string lights actually kind of remind me of those crafts you do when you're a kid with a little lollipop and you put the little sheet of Kleenex over them. Anyway, we're going to see a lot of the things that kind of look a little crafty this year. And note that wreath there. I just mentioned in the last video how I'd like to DIY one of those one of these days, but maybe that's not a good idea because obviously everywhere has it. I do think this little dome here, the little glass dome cloche, is a good deal. It's only $10 and you could really put a lot of creative things inside there and make it look really good with your decor. Pumpkins of all shapes and sizes, and I love this little candelabra. It's got that weird, obviously that sort of weird bulbous Target look, and we see that carrying over here into the skulls. I mean, I don't think we see skulls like that anywhere else. There's just something very distinctively Target about these. And we've got lots more pumpkins with words, but here we can see the sort of crafty nature of the Target products this year. Everything kind of looks like it might have been handmade. All right, not the tombstones, but we'll see some more of those later as well. And I love the face of that little ghost. It's super cute. I actually ended up buying this owl for my bird cages I bought from the Pop Shelf store from a couple of videos ago. And if you're building your own little Halloween village, obviously they've got a lot of little trinkets that you can use to build those out. And there were some houses we saw a minute ago as well. I really love the look of this wreath. I guess it could be like a door hanger of some sort as well. Look at all this sort of sticks, especially in the urns. I was tempted to get that as opposed to that man-eating plant that I really liked from Michael's the other day. It's obviously a lot cheaper. Still haven't made up my mind. We have a couple little Halloween vehicles, but check this one out. It says Happy Haunting. And then we've got some other stick decor. Oh no, look at this sign though, Happy Hauntings. Not only does that not need to be plural, but then it's got the two different fonts. Don't like that at all. But that little cat that we just saw next to the owl that I bought is super cute as well. All right, we've got some other sort of deadly plants up here. Not any in the large size that I'm hoping for, and these are a bit colorful, almost a bit too cheery in my opinion. We've got some updated tombstones here. I know they've had ones like this in the past. Don't think they quite look like that. And here's one with a little dog, a little ghost. But is that supposed to be like a tombstone or a statue? What is that really supposed to represent? Here's a very colorful tombstone, and it lights up. Quite a few lights, it looks like. Not bad. All right.
Hello, hello. Woo! It's so much work greeting you all. I'm practically burning the candle at both ends.
I was slightly tempted with that tombstone as well. The sort of quirky little tombstones was giving me an idea of making a separate zone that was a little bit more kid-friendly with the tombstones that they could walk through, not part of my main display, obviously. Look at this ugly pumpkin here. But, you know, keeping a little separate area, I could see myself doing that, putting some of these little more kid-friendly things in there. All right, they've got this lamppost. They didn't have one on display, but I know we've seen that several years in a row. A couple more light-up tombstones. And look, here is the Target version of the stacked pumpkins. Of course, Home Depot has the 8-foot ones that are pretty popular this year, hard to get. We've got some white colored things going on in this section. In fact, we've got some muted colored pumpkins as well. I did like the knobby nature of them, makes them look a little bit more realistic, but then they ruin it with the color. All right, some pillows. And again, here's some more crafty looking things. Look at that cat. It looks like somebody might have just created that. And that skeleton there as well. For some reason, it does make me feel a little bit nostalgic for the sort of crafts that you make when you're a kid. So maybe that's a good idea after all. We've got a bunch of different pumpkins with different designs. Of course, I don't see any velvet pumpkins, so thank goodness for that. 3 things all over the place. It feels like they should be consolidated somewhere. A couple more pumpkin designs. One that's half pink. You know, we have seen some of that sort of hot pink color creeping up in a lot of the stores as well. Not really so much that pastel pink. Don't really know how I feel about that. Over here, we've got some of the little creatures and things you can help flesh out your display with. A lot of plastic, a lot of spiders, bats, things like that. But we do get a few bigger spiders as well that get a little creepier looking. Of course, they've got the big jewel eyes, which I actually kind of like because it reflects the light. Here's a dropping one. Based on the sound of that, I guess it's supposed to drop a little bit further than it does in the display. Got some little light up hanging effects. Of course, the Reaper with the what must be a trademarked Target face. I like that little ghost with the tooth though. I'm so used to seeing those crazy teeth on the pumpkins that you never really think to put them on the ghosts. That's actually a really good idea. We've got some tombstones. I know I bought a pack of those last year just to kind of fill out my graveyard as well. And I can't remember. I think I got the neon effect ones and have to take a look this year at those again. All right, more light up tombstones. Did we see this one already? I think we did. I think because part of the problem here obviously is that they put merchandise all over the place. All right, I love these tombstones. I actually bought both of them, even though I don't really like the color necessarily, but I loved this one with the gargoyle demon thing on the top. Went straight in my cart. So I have one that goes enter if you dare, going into my party zone, and then I got this one that says see you soon, that I'm going to put as you are leaving the party zone. And I'm going to show you something I put with that as well just a little bit later. All right, we've got some skeleton items here. I don't think I've seen a skeleton shark before. That would actually kind of go good with my pirate skeletons as well. There's a sort of skull and crossbones as well. I'm a little disappointed that they don't have much pirate stuff in any of the stores this year. That skull and crossbones might be the only thing I've really seen so far. And considering every year I kind of add a few more pieces to my pirate skeletons, I'm a little disappointed that I haven't had anything to buy. But you're going to see here this little skeleton here that looks like he's popping out of the ground waving. I'm going to put that one next to that see you soon or whatever it was tombstone that I just bought. It's a little, again, cutesy than I'd prefer, but it's on the way out. So I feel I can get away with it. All right, more skeleton creatures. I think kind of the problem with some of these, though, is that they're not life-size, like that little unicorn or whatever. Here's a little dog. I don't think I've seen this one before. That sounded terrible, almost like there was a human imitating a dog making noise. Did not like that at all. Right, they had that gold sort of skeleton, and then a couple of more options here, which I'm a little surprised that the standard skeleton was $5 more expensive than the gold skeleton. But I like the one with the pumpkin head as well, especially with the orange bones. I don't think we've seen that before. So I do like the creativity, especially this guy. Check this out.
I can see that you are all dressed up and ready for a fright. Allow me to help lighten up your mind.
I'm half tempted to get that animatronic just for the floating candelabra effect and not actually use the sort of Reaper. In fact, it needed a face. I do always appreciate when the mouths move. Look at the hands on this guy. He was certainly a character. I like that. And then down here, they've got a box of the spider. I would love to have seen what that looked like in person. I suspect maybe they don't put it out because they are trying to trend a little more kid-friendly, and something like that would be a little terrifying, and you don't want that. But I think that could be a real selling point based on the Home Depot ones.
Well. It looks like we have some mischievous characters out tonight. I hope you're behaving yourselves.
I think that pumpkin guy could really benefit from perhaps some flame effects going on. Otherwise, it just looks a little cheap. On the other end of the spectrum, we have these ceramic light-up Christmas trees at $10. That feels a little pricey to me, considering we see them everywhere, and I can't imagine they're really that much more expensive than that. Personally, don't know for sure because I'm not really interested in them and don't look at the pricing. But these guys are kind of cute and vintagey, retro. And what is this thing? I wasn't expecting that, but I did really like the way it moved. Lots of fun toys to press buttons on. Kids here would love this stuff.
Trick or treat. Do you want something to eat?
I really like the effect of that. The mirror is very mirrored, which you don't see a lot in that sort of prop. I suspect that little bike will ride all around. I kind of wonder if it just goes in a straight line or turns or what. The light in the mouth there is a brilliant way to make it look like it's really talking.
I won't be trick-or-treating this year. I just don't have the guts for it anymore.
And I am not really sure what that's supposed to be. Is that just supposed to be like the bust of a skeleton? Looks very strange. We have some sort of cauldron here. There's not a try me button. I suspect it just lights up. But it would be really cool if it had a misting effect or at least a bubble sound or something. I do like the look of these sort of pumpkin dioramas. This one is in a skull's mouth. That's kind of an interesting take on that.
Don't wander too far.
Hello! You have reached us after hours, and we're out trick-or-treating. Please try back again. Tomorrow, if you dare.
Well, she certainly was very witchy. Let's see what the black cat does. That was somewhat painful. I don't really like the appearance of that cat either. This would be great for your mad scientist laboratory, or just general decor like this. Alright, as we move down, we're going to see some more light up pumpkins. I actually don't hate the one with the bright white eyes. You know, these days, I'm so used to seeing just those standard pumpkins, kind of like that one that we're seeing right there, that anything that is new and different just excites me. I like that we can be a little bit more creative with some of those, especially after having the same sort of standard pumpkin look for so many years. All right, we've got some wall decor, things that you can stick on your wall now. You probably don't want to stick those up too early if it is going to be cold out. I did that in my garage one year because that's where I have my Halloween party. And I think like the next day, a lot of the letters were peeling up and on the floor. You know we couldn't have escaped the store without seeing some Nightmare Before Christmas merchandise. At least it's not the entirety of the sections like some stores.
I'm keeping a careful eye on you.
Very creepy eyes on that bowl. Here is another one of these candelabras. Now this one doesn't have those purple dangly bits. And here's a shout out to Auntie Vera Charles 50, who I'm sure is going to comment on that comment. All right, we've got some party supplies. Love the black hand towels. And as we get down to the paper plates and napkins and things, I am a little bit torn because I love the design of some of these usually, but I'm not sure if the guests at the party really appreciate that or if just the standard black plates or the designs that you can get at the Dollar Tree would be worth the savings over the premium you're going to pay here at Target. We've got some crafting supplies, little pumpkins and the things that you can stick on them there. A little pumpkin truck. Not that it would fit any of these things. I think that might be a little out of place. But we've got some more licensed designs, Star Wars-y things and whatnot. But if you want to be just a little bit more creative, they have their hide-and-eek, obviously the pumpkin carving materials, but then you can make it into a unicorn, a cat, a spider. But then Target just goes a little crazy with these things down here, and it can be whatever the heck these things are as well. All right, the games. I do buy a lot of these too for my Halloween party every year. It just makes things for the kids a little bit more fun. Like there's a little ball toss game, some bowling. Not really sure what that was, but I'm sure I have it. This is the one area where I think the Target cuteness will be acceptable with the kids' games and whatnot. And if you need a bowl for all that candy we just saw, there you go. But if you're heading out trick-or-treating, here are some interesting wagon decor. We're not really going to look at the costumes. You can check that out on your own. I, of course, tend to flock just to the Halloween decor or the Day of the Dead merchandise. And Target is actually where I found a lot of this stuff last year. They have this special little cart, and it really helped me out with my Day of the Dead decorating for my party theme last year. They even had the Day of the Dead themed wine bottles, so I really liked how immersive I could be with that theme. All right, we've got some more tombstones out here. These are more the wood tombstones, and you can get a cat and a ghost to go along with them. I admit I do like the design. They're just a little bit less than realistic for my taste. As we make our way up toward the checkout, we'll find these little crafty things on the end caps and whatnot. I actually forgot to check out the dollar spot at the front. They did have some really cool stuff, and some of it went into my cart. I will have to share that with you perhaps in a later video if they put more stuff out, and we can do an update video to see what new stuff gets put out on the regular shelves as well, because it certainly looks like there's more to go. All right, so that's going to do it for today's video. As I pack this stuff up in my car, I'm thinking about all the other stores we still have to visit, so stay tuned for that. We're also going to do more DIYs, product reviews, and more, so make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell icon for notifications. Till next time, everyone, thanks for watching, take care, happy haunting.